We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 541. I am your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week, as always, he's got two thumbs way, way up and a smile to match. He is your undisputed scholar. He is the OG Undisputed Scholar. Let's see how long he can save that face. And he is your Scholars of Wrestling party champion. And he absolutely loves long ass intros. He is the one and only, the ever happy, the ever effervescent Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how are we feeling tonight, sir?
I'm feeling good, fool. How are you doing?
I am delightful. I am glad to see you in the hot seat today. We
Oh,
got
it's
some.
a. Oh, I was. We have a lot to talk about. The road to WrestleMania begins this time, and let's see. Is it enough for WWE to actually get their their ticket sales going?
We'll certainly have to see. Well, it does look like they're going to be doing some damage control, for lack of more
The,
precise terms.
the best way to describe this past weekend, is pivot, pivot, pivot.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to be getting all the reasons that WWE is pivoting and trying to move tickets, but we cannot proceed any further without very last but not least scholar to come into the game. And what a scholar he is. He is your Scholars of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, and he's the master of the dandiest of hats. He is your scholar and mine, Scholar Pete. Scholar Pete, how are we feeling tonight, champ?
As I live and breathe. Scholar Torg, what intros from us from Scholar Jeff? My goodness.
It's a
Man,
fun build up. It really is because
I mean,
you're just waiting there, waiting to unload, waiting to unload. Is it driving you mad? Maybe a little, but who cares? Because there actually is a lot of fun stuff to talk about, both from WWE and in AEW aspects. So
well, let's
let's do it.
I mean, the fact is that I am still your Scholars champion, and I
I
also correctly predicted that Randy Orton was going to win the Elimination Chamber. So even if I defended my belt, ladies and gentlemen, which I'm planning to do at Elimination Chamber 2027, don't you worry, mark it down. This title ain't going nowhere. But I mean, it's just what more do I have to prove as your Scholars of Wrestling champion, but just to become
The
an
wheel can go in your
undisputed
favor.
scholar. So, Scholar Tarek, be ready for that because I am coming hot in to becoming the newest undisputed scholar.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's actually a very exciting ride. Let's see how this goes for all the scholars going for that undisputed title.
Oh, yes. And we'll get into all of that. It's going to be a long and exciting road, but
As Brian would put it, on top of the mountain, us undisputed scholars just enjoying the show that you guys are providing us. Mm.
dance, serfs, dance. I get it. But
Dance, my fellow scholars, dance. Reach that point where you can cut the strings and then you become puppet masters for the rest of the scholars of wrestling.
oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
You
But
guys to join up and be yourselves instead of puppets? Absolutely. Cut those
well,
strings, man. Cut those strings.
there are no more strings on us, or at least there soon won't be. But until we get there, we have some fallout from a little show called Elimination Chamber. We need to break it all down. We got first of all, bringing it over to both of you, we're of course talking about the men's winner of this year's men's elimination chamber match in Randy Orton, which one of us did actually predict. But we also got a winner for the women in Rhea Ripley, which I'm not sure if anyone else called.
No, nobody called it. We all picked Tiffany Stratton to win. And this is the first example of WWE doing the ultimate pivot, which it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's a good match. I mean, I would love to see Rhea Ripley go for the title. I think it's a good, as much as I was loving her and Io stuff in the tag division, and I hope they actually get back to that instead of just having Io pull the It's like, okay, she's being pushed down to the mid card while Rhea's in the main event. Hopefully, it's to go for the Intercontinental title. I wouldn't mind Io, AJ Lee. Take a break from her and Becky. Sorry, Brian.
It's gonna be
It's the
Bailey.
truth.
It's gonna be Bailey.
Oh, I that would be another fun one.
I
They
think
just
what I think what they're really doing with this WrestleMania to go off of you, Tarek, is like you're seeing matches that you want to see. Like, I mean, while you see this, ladies and gentlemen, it may or may not be out, but we're pretty sure that Cody will be winning the title on SmackDown against Drew McIntyre because they want to build that Cody versus Randy, that storytelling that's been God knows how many years. That's a big marquee match. Same with Roman and same with Punk. You have these big matches where who's the most dominant female wrestler in WWE, Rhea Ripley. And of course, you're going to have her also in a main event picture against, I don't defend my title, Jade Cargill. But then you
And what
have,
did you think of that that X back and forth they had?
I confess, I was a little put off by it at first until I realized, wait, these ladies are just working. I was listening to a Busted Open earlier this morning, and they brought up a very good point. Like, this felt very similar to what happened last year between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, where, yeah, things got really rough. Things could have been handled better, but they got some very visceral reactions. The crowd got invested, and by the time the match came around, everything was fine. I imagine
I do think
this
they'll
is
be
what
professional.
absolutely, and I'm convinced that, like, if nothing else, for all of our strengths and weaknesses, Jade Cargill can still talk a lot of mad crap. So I think this is really all it is, and everyone is just being professionals and just working, sort of blurring that line just enough so that, again, if your goal is to drum up some sagging ticket prices for WrestleMania, you gotta kind of build up some heat the old-fashioned way every once in a while. I'm convinced that's all this is.
I'm curious if they're actually going to work it into the storyline. Will they actually mention the Twitter back and forth, or will they just have it be the traditional and then hint at maybe the statements?
I think they'll hint at it. I think that's more WWE style where they'll be like, they'll say something and then Rio will be like I obliterated you on Twitter, or on X. And if the
Mhm.
wrestling fans that know will know, but for those who don't, they'll just be like, what? But I think
If anything, if anything, they'll probably use the Twitter back and forth as the script for their segment.
100%, 100%. I guess that's
If that's the
that's
way
what
they
we're
ignore
seeing.
it, just put it in the story. Why not?
They're trying to make these big matches. I have to say, with how WWE is programming right now, I could see this not being necessarily the best WrestleMania, but the most stacked star-wise, like of matches we want to see. We have the rumor of Drew versus Jacob Fatu, Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, like all these like things going around. Like it just seems like WWE is like, hey, we're stacking the card this year. We're giving you the matches that you want to see. And that's why I think that's why you're getting like, hey, this is why we're doing Rhea Ripley. We could do Tiffany versus um, Jade, but Rhea will just attract that much more. I feel like Bailey's going to win because you have that Bailey AJ Lee, where when you have that chemistry of two wrestlers that want to work together on the grandest stage, fans of wrestling want to see that match, and hey, it's going to be a good match. Again, what I said, I don't think it's going to be, it could be the best WrestleMania match wise, but I think this is just going to be the matches like, man, there is no there is no filler on this card. Every match here is going to hit. Every match has a special reason if those matches hit. But on the card, I think it's going to look like the best card we've seen
If
from
those
WWE in a while.
if those matches are
Mhm.
announced,
That is
because
also fair.
these all we're getting right now is just the storyline and storyline aspects, and we're just seeing which of these matches are going to end up on WrestleMania. But they said it's going to be WrestleMania is going to have a big card.
Like 60 matches,
Yeah, between the shows. Yeah, so that's
8 per night.
eight.
I mean, that's not bad.
Frankly, I'm still a little bit skeptical by what we may or may not see. I've read this year's WrestleMania. Again, I'm glad you've got your hype, Pete, but I feel like again, after I know I'm incredibly biased, but after what we got from 40, from that lunatic high, and that I thought was an absolutely stacked card. And what we got on WrestleMania 41 just really just did not hit nearly the same way, just because the expectations were so astronomically high. With this, yeah, we finally have some good this year we finally have some good matches going. One in particular I'm really excited about with AJ Lee versus anyone at this point. I absolutely and that's just not me pandering to you, Pete. That she is AJ Lee as far as the women's intercontinental title. She is the most ideal person to hold it,
Hmm.
if for no other reason than to just generate a whole new crop of dream matches, something fresh, something new, something exciting. That that is the perfect spot for her, and it will lead up beautifully to another great WrestleMania match. That I'm completely certain of. The one thing I doubt, really the only thing, is that this entire show is going to be stacked no all killer no filler because frankly there are no WrestleManias like that. There's usually one or two spots where it doesn't quite hit, especially if you're talking about 2 full days of WrestleMania. There something is just not going to hit on some level, even if most of the rest of the show is going to be great. That's all I'm
It just
suggesting.
really, it just really begs the question. It like I'm sure we all have our listing on what the WrestleMania matches are going to be, just from what it's like. So we think this and this, this and this. With what you're thinking of what's being like presented as the storyline going into WrestleMania, is there any of them like the lower card that you're actually looking forward to? Or at least that you're hoping for ending up being on the WrestleMania card?
Yes, yes, I do. There's
Oh,
one in particular that's coming to mind immediately, and we're going to be talking about this in greater detail a little bit later. But there's one match in particular that I am dying to see at WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio versus Danhausen. After what we saw on Monday Night Raw, where Danhausen, in his second ever WWE appearance, shows up, interacts with the Judgment Day, curses Dominic Mysterio, and boom, that later that night he immediately loses the Intercontinental title to Penta. I'm like, yeah, by the way, my boy Penta, hell yeah, congratulations. But
Cero
still, it's like
Miedo.
that was like the that was you want to talk about all killer no filler. That is just like all of those elements between Elimination Chamber on Monday Night Raw. N- Again, not to belabor the conversation about Danhausen, but we had Danhausen, a character that a lot of people in the crowd did not immediately know about or understand who or what he was. Shows up on Monday Night Raw, interacts with the straight men in the Judgment Day, the super serious guys. He sort of pokes fun at the lack of reaction that he got. Started introducing, okay, what am I here? Here's a list of demands. Why is this piece of paper wet? Oh, it fell in the toilet. Ah.
He got one of them though. He
He
got that
got the
picture with
photo
Triple
of
H.
Triple H. He's still working on the Hall of Fame induction and the blimp.
I
But
want him to do it and have the Danhausen blimp go over WrestleMania.
yes, that will be golden. Or better yet, and then he curses Dominic Mysterio, disappears. That was the perfect setup, perfect pacing. It all just it makes me
I
confident.
actually have a better match in mind than just a simple one-on-one. Dominic versus Danhausen versus Finn Balor versus Penta, fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship.
I don't know how I feel about. Danhausen being in having being in the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania.
Hell,
It would
he
be
said
nutty.
he looked at the title during their backstage segment, and then Dom was like, "This is the closest you're ever gonna get to the title," and well, this is pretty close.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that you don't that makes sense, but I kind of
It's the
don't hate it because
Intercontinental
it's
Championship,
Danhausen.
fool. Of course, I'm following that title.
But you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm following Danhausen.
Oh,
Like I'll
me too. I actually think he's gonna curse JD McDonough next in their whatever match he's gonna have on Raw to continue that story. I don't think he's gonna curse Finn or Penta.
nah, I
JD
just
is the only other is the person I see as like the next person.
but so far, well, first of all, I am absolutely flabbergasted that like I know took a guess that Danhausen was in the box, but I'm like to see what like I keep revisiting that for the rest of the week. I'm just like, wait a minute. Danhausen is in WWE now. That's
Are you gonna buy his
so
shirt?
surreal. I'm honestly tempted to get the Danhausen shirt.
Number one
Um,
on WWE Shop.
It
and
is number one on WWE
it's
Shop.
so surreal. Like,
It is surreal
wow.
because from the reports that like I've read, the fans were happy to see him. They were only booing for the fact that he didn't do anything after. He just disappeared. It was just entrance by. Typical WWE fashion is just the entrances that matter, not what he does in the ring, or even if it's just a microphone segment.
And I think now that that's changing, there will be more universal support for him. Like, obviously with AEW, I don't know if we're ever going to find out exactly what happened. Like if they want to sincerely make a more serious indie wrestling based show and make that more consistent, like okay, that's the vision, what you're going for. That's fine. But like I said way back when, I just want this guy to be on the biggest stage possible, just doing his thing and making wrestling better and actually wrestling more matches. Like I want to see him on Monday Night Raw again. I want him to show up. I want him to eventually have his first match against JD McDonough, curse him, and then actually beat JD McDonough. And then if you want to do a one-on-one with Dominic Mysterio or put him in the Fatal Four Way for the IC strap, like you can do whatever. But just so they give him the Mr. Iguana treatment where they can show off, yeah, he can actually wrestle. Yeah, he can actually go. And it's not just like spooky, scary ghost boy and just
He
like
could be
cursing people.
their new Spike Dudley.
He could do that. Like
At
there's
least to get the
stuff you
thrown
can
around
do.
aspect.
Yeah, like he
He's a
can.
tiny man. I'm sure he's flown before many times.
Plus, not for nothing, we know he's got the jar of teeth. I want to see him dump that jar of teeth down Dominic Mysterio's throat at WrestleMania. That will
I don't
really
know
show
why.
that will
Oh,
really show the entire world who Danhausen is and what he's about. That will be astounding.
does Danhausen have a picture with him and Elvira?
I don't know. I'm sure he's done enough cons over the years, so
There has to be at
he
least one.
must have crossed paths with Cassandra Peterson at some point. Like it must have happened. I think he's at least got a picture with like Sven Gulli or something. But just to like again, I don't mean to talk about Danhausen a lot, but I'm talking about Danhausen a lot because I'm very excited about the that Danhausen actually made it on the WWE TV and they're actually doing stuff with him and it's actually working. It's like I feel this is gonna sound absolutely absurd, but I haven't been this excited for a new signing since they signed Penta. Like
Okay.
just seeing Penta on WWE TV and being able to watch a new Penta match every week, that's just gold. But just to see that, like, yeah, they're taking this wacky indie T-shirt guy, basically Mr. Pro Wrestling Tees, is now is now on the WWE roster. Like, this is absolutely still so damn surreal to me, and but it's in the best of ways, and I'm absolutely here for it. I hope they throw Danhausen in all of these wacky scenarios, and just like I'm here for it.
With Punk protecting him, I think, or I wouldn't say protecting it, but with Punk having his back, I think he's going to be a major influence on the show. I don't think they're just going to throw him to the side like they did with Royce Keys.
Yeah, that I've been hearing Royce Keys is just like being acclimatized to the WWE style. I,
Does he really need it though?
I don't really know. Totally I'm not totally buying into that. Something just doesn't seem right about that, but I'm like I really hope that Royce Keys doesn't fall to the same peril as Ray Phoenix, where just like, okay, they don't actually have real plans for you. They just want to take you away from AEW. Like that's not the fate I want for any wrestler. Like if they're going to try and poach you from another company, at least you better have something for them, not just make
I
it like
actually
a
have an
power play.
idea. I actually have an idea. Have him, I say put him with the New Day. I think they would be good managers for him. And they'll even
Hmm.
add it to their storyline of this is what Big E should have been, and just as this dominant monster.
Hmm. It's certainly something. I'm not sure how well it would go over if they treat him like a replacement for Big E, because everyone loves Big E.
I say that would work for the heel aspect. That gets the good heel heat
That's the point.
from the
Yeah,
New
that's
Day.
the point.
Yeah,
It would work as a heel,
and
but
present him as a heartless monster. Why not? I say that would work wonders for him. And if you don't want to do it like now, and not give him a match at WrestleMania, are they saving him for after WrestleMania? Have him be like the date, like a debut thing on the Monday after?
I honestly have no idea. With the rate they're going, I feel like I honestly have no idea what they're going to do with him.
I feel like he's
So
going
This,
to become the next Ryback. I think they're going to try to figure out a gimmick. It's going to be a feed me type more gimmick, and I just think like it's to go over, but at the end of the day, like, and it's no disrespect to the wrestler. Like, I just feel like if they're not doing anything with Royal Rumble, even if they wait till after WrestleMania and they do it like the Raw after WrestleMania, we're going to be like, why do we care? It's been 3 months since we've seen this guy. Like, what's the big thing? Unless he's like Brock Lesnar's mystery opponent at WrestleMania, like, what are you doing with this guy? And I just feel like they're gonna try to push a couple of things, but it's gonna be a Ryback thing where the gimmick will work. I just don't think it will flesh out as well as we would once hope, especially coming into the Rumble where it was a decent performance, but nothing that made me go, man, I can't wait to see him on the next WWE show.
yeah, and I'm not convinced that Danhausen is in any threat of that at all. The appeal to him and the direction that he's got is just so straightforward. Like you have to not be paying attention in order to not do anything with Danhausen. Just you can just roll a random name generator, put his name on the wheel, and just like okay, Danhausen and uh uh put him with anybody, and it would work wonders. It would be fantastic.
So with that
And
being said, going basically back to how from his introduction to Elimination Chamber and how we're building to WrestleMania, is that like is what you got from Elimination first, what's your facial hair rating? And did it make you more excited to watch WrestleMania? Do you actually think it would actually the story that they're going with will actually boost their sales?
basically, it got me more interested for two reasons. Number one, I was pleasantly surprised by the chamber matches. So it gives a more concrete and I would argue more interesting direction for the matches to go than what I previously thought we were going to get. Again, I think it's a great time for Randy Orton. I think it's the perfect time to bring him back into the world title scene. I'm not totally convinced that we're going to be getting Cody versus Orton. I'm not crazy about the idea of him of Cody getting the title back on on a random SmackDown. I'm not crazy about that idea, but at the very least, it does provide a more straightforward route that, frankly, I'm more than okay with, provided the build is right. Not to mention, again, Danhausen is in the mix. As long as he just shows up somewhere, anywhere, doing something interesting and fun, adding more to the show. All of these things, if the individual matches and such themselves, you can say what you want about them. But ultimately, if the goal of Elimination Chamber was to really build up hype and excitement and direction for WrestleMania, then if that's what you're going for, then mission accomplished. You did it for me. So, all that being said, as far as a beard rating, I am going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to give this a very robust classic goatee. Not the most solid, not the most flawless show, but it's got a lot of high points and a lot for me particularly to enjoy. So that is my beard rating for Elimination Chamber 2026.
All right. Champ, what would you give this?
That's a
And are
great
you excited
question.
for WrestleMania?
Great question. Great question. Uh, I think as a whole with Chamber, I'm very positive on it. As I predicted, Randy Orton to
Yeah.
win, and he's going for number 15 at Mania. Love to see it. I think that was great. I think within the Chamber and Logan Paul taking everybody out, the return of Rollins. I think the men's rumble was great. I think with especially the match, the other chamber, the women's match with Rhea Ripley and how that all went down. I thought that was well done. Of course, my girl, my girl winning her IC title. Wonderful things there, which makes me go, am I excited for WrestleMania? Yeah, like I said, I think that this was a very good little appetizer, little side salad to the main course that will be WrestleMania. And since, I'm feeling quite generous with my beard rating, I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5 for yes, I think, like I said, I think it set up a lot of potential matches that we could see. I know a lot of them haven't been announced, and that you don't want to see Cody win on a random Friday. But the fact of the matter is, Drew is going to be filming right after WrestleMania. And with the Jacob Fatu, you can have a nice little brawl with that match, and it gives the Cody and Randy a payoff. Like it's WWE and Triple H always is talking about story, story, story. They gave us stories at Elimination Chambers. Not all that have come full circle or even half circle, but there are stories approaching, and that's why I think this Elimination Chamber was a 4 out of 5. Champ approved.
How about you,
It's
fool? What would you rate it?
it's actually kind of funny because really discussing it and discussing where the stories are going in WWE in general and where I'm seeing the WrestleMania card is being made from the Intercontinental title four-way that I threw to just the storyline aspects for the world title picture, not with uh, Roman and Punk getting personal with burying with your dad to the possibility of Cody winning it back on Friday, much to our fellow scholars' dismay, where I could act, funny enough, I can actually kind of see it where Cody goes, basically takes advantage of the situation, leading to Drew, like I think like Jacob Fatu gets involved,
Mhm.
costs Drew the match that sets up their match for WrestleMania, and Cody takes advantage of that situation and then you could build the story where Randy took advantage of an opportunity and gets cheered for it while he does the exact same thing and gets booed for it, having Cody be the heel in this because they know everyone's gonna be behind Randy Orton in this match. So it just makes sense to make Orton the face in that story and Cody be the heel. Even like not pulling the heel, like the cowardly heel one, like the honorable heel one.
And I mean,
Like
Danhausen's
not
number
changing
one
his
on WWE
character.
Shop, so it makes sense.
Huh?
I said Danhausen's number one on the shop. Like we joke around,
Yeah.
but it's big with that. And if Cody's not delivered, why not make the chance to turn him heel? 100%. Not to cut you off, though. I just wanted to
Oh yeah.
say, like, I 100% agree with where your head's
So,
at.
oh yeah, but in the long run, storyline wise, it makes me look forward, actually start looking forward to WrestleMania, to watching it. But really, it's the only real complaint I have about it is just with a production standpoint, they are like not hiding it anymore how much they care more about the entrances than the actual match. Because damn, like when those people are entering those chambers, they have this routine where they have to look at everyone else in the everyone else in their chambers just to keep the entrances going. And I just caught that. I'm just like, damn, this is taking a long time to get the match started. Bring on the match, which just confirms like the whole WWE's problem with entrances are the only ones that matter. Um, with the aspect, I get why they're doing all these basically desperate moves for basically so they can get butts in those seats. Um, all in all, yeah. With that being said, yeah, I'm also gonna give it a four. And it actually before it was just a simple three classic OT, but actually discussing it more with you gentlemen actually raised it a level because it just made me think about like, okay, where do I see these branches to WrestleMania going? Which is good. Good job, WWE. You're actually getting me back to being invested. Where there was that time period where I was like,
Nobody was
okay,
invested.
I'm following it, but I honestly don't care because it just doesn't feel like anything is happening. At least now it feels like it's happening.
Hmm.
So yeah, four out of five, full beard. Really enjoyed it. And for everyone watching, just post their comments on like, does this make you excited for WrestleMania? Does it like what's your facial hair rating with hell with Elimination Chamber, Raw, WWE entirely pretty much.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I really hope that this is getting the results that WWE seems to want. If tickets are indeed going rather slowly, more slowly than they want for WrestleMania this year. But before we get any more solid answers in that department, I gotta say, looking back to the AEW side of things, they're not lacking for much either. They're still going around, and they still have had a couple of very interesting debuts on their end as well. Not the least of which was the debuting David Finlay, who I believe has officially left New Japan, and apparently everyone seems to initially think uh Skinny Wardlow. Like that's the one reaction I saw to David Finlay before they recognized who he was. Like that's the one reaction I kept seeing from people. Like, oh wait, did Wardlow lose weight? Oh no, that's some other guy. Like,
Wow, that I actually didn't see that. That's wow. Well, it was a nice debut though, making a statement against Orange and Darby, two of the big popular guys. Yeah, make a statement, and they said they're all elite. So yay, let's see if they actually make some kind of impact, or he'll just be like, let's see, they're let's see if they get associated with the Don Callis family.
I
Not like
really hope not.
not become members of the family, but just become
Okay.
allies.
So there's too many members in that family.
I mean, they just won the trios,
Trios,
which
yeah.
is Okada a double champion as well? Or does he just have the trios titles? Because I know Fletcher is the TNT champion. Does Okada have another title?
I am looking that up to confirm it right now.
International?
I think he is the international champion.
Man, what a way to make both Fletcher and Okada look awesome. And like with their build story, like we're best friends. Screw Takeshita. At least that's what Okada says. It's like, oh, Kyle Fletcher, you're my best friend. To hell with Takeshita. The top three names of the Don Callis family just wanting to beat the shit out of each
Yeah,
other.
he's the international champion and the trios champion with as a part of the Don Callis family.
And Mark Davis.
And Mark Davis, yes. Of course, we can't forget Mark Davis.
Who just has the
Oh,
one
they don't.
title.
He's having great matches with big names, and then all of a sudden he has the trios title. Give him a belt. Why not? And it's with Okada and Fletcher. It's like, hey guys, I'm here too. Maybe I'll put myself in a nice suit and be one of you guys. And they're just like, okay. But also it's that whole Don Callis drama. It's just like, you know what? Fuck you, man. I'll make a
Are,
statement.
are you are I know we talked about this before, gentlemen, but quick thought on there on this. Are we really excited for FTR and Young Bucks?
I'll be flat out honest, no. Like I feel like we've seen this a million times. It's not really fresh and exciting. Again, no disrespect to either team, but I'm like
The match should be incredible. It's gonna be
the match
incredible.
itself is going to be excellent, but I feel like yeah, I'm definitely contending with this feeling of not am I not crazy about the Young Bucks these days, but I feel like them and FTR in particular has just been going on for so long that I just like really difficult for me to care about seeing this match again. Like there's no freshness to it, and I'm just wondering like of all the matches you could have made, why this one?
I'm looking forward to more of the story, like the matches that could happen after, more than the match itself. Like I'm trying to think of dream matches, but like, because I'll give my prediction early. I think the Young Bucks are going to win it, and we're just going to basically have them have a series of tag title matches with against just Jet Speed or let's see,
The Rascals,
the Rascals. Yeah. Um.
the Dogs. I is that what their name
Yeah.
is? The Dogs?
Yeah. Yeah. Have the
Yeah.
dogs. Yeah. Go ahead.
Then you can put the tag team together, or and you can have David Finlay either in the mix. Maybe they can go for the trios titles, or maybe they could just have David Finlay in the singles division somewhere.
David Finlay's eyeing Kyle Fletcher's TNT title.
There you go. See, there's like an excellent match you could put on any pay-per-view and it would sell. It'd be great.
And they're capable of doing that.
The
I
thing
think so.
I think right now, especially with AEW, they're like I feel where WWE is, they have WrestleMania coming. So gear is at full. We're cruising down the highway. We're getting there at max speed. Where now right now AEW is introducing all these new personas, new characters, new wrestlers, and it's like, ooh, like you gentlemen said, oh, he would be great in the tag team division or a singles run. Oh, he could have, and I feel like right now AEW is just, ooh, in a couple of months, in like 4 months, you're going to see some incredible matches on a incredible cards because of what they're doing now. So I feel like this is them just getting turning out of their driveway to go to the highway when WWE is on that highway.
Yeah, it's next weekend. Predict, yeah,
Next
Scholars of
week we got
Wrestling
prediction show.
Revolution Prediction Show. Hopefully, we get to see you all there as well. Oh, but actually, I actually gotta look at the card. I don't know, I remember the full card offhand.
Oh, you know
Uh,
that they're gonna be adding in like three more matches at
There's
the
only
11th
eight
hour.
matches, I think. Right?
let's
There's eight
see. There's
matches.
Swerve and Brody King. I think that's gonna be a fun one. Let's see. That's just what I remember. Let's see.
Then there's Mox and
Mox and Takeshita, which is
Takeshita,
gonna be just
MJF,
awesome.
and
MJ
Hangman. You got the tag team with FTR and Young Bucks. You have
Tekla versus Statlander.
mhm.
And of course,
Andrade El Idolo versus Bandito, which is going to be
Yep.
just an absolute crazy, absolute classic of a match.
But we can, of course, we cannot miss the absolute most banger match of the night, guaranteed. Of course, we're going to be getting Big Boom AJ against to be announced.
Oh my God, I saw that today. I was so
Myst
excited.
Mystico and Jet Speed are going for the trios titles?
Okay, like that.
Mystico, that's gonna be a fun one.
That is just gonna be like pure like Japanese, just like strong style goodness. I like you want to talk about a show that has this like banger after banger, like top to bottom, all killer, no filler.
I'm
This
just
is
curious,
already looking to be a much stronger card from top to bottom than WrestleMania is right now.
where the fuck
Strong
did this
statement.
match come from?
I have no idea, but they're
They
like,
just lost the trios title yesterday, and they already have. Well, one thing they've already replaced Adam Page with Mystico, but like, where the hell did that come from?
And it,
I think
it was it was a news.
this is the very first time where I really have like feel that idiotic internet wrestling community of just like, oh, matches have no story, they're just out of nowhere. This is the first time I actually like was like, okay, well, why does this one have not have anything? Why is Mystico involved?
I'll tell you why,
Like,
because
but I'm not going to be as idiotic as some people, the internet wrestling community, like, oh, AEW is trash because they have no storylines. I Stop it,
let me tell you what happened
stop it. You're
today. I'll tell you, Tony Khan went to Wisconsin. He was on the radio show. And he announced, he goes, just so you know, even though they lost the tag titles yesterday, we're announcing a match for this pay-per-view with no other context. It's an exclusive here in Wisconsin West.
hell. I'm looking it up and see if they announce it anywhere like on their X or whatever.
I really hope it's on a Wisconsin radio station.
I really don't think it would be. At least it would at least have to be mentioned on one of their
No, no,
TV shows
100%,
for
100%.
sure.
Yeah, I don't. That's funny. Like, yeah, I don't see any announcement of it. Where the hell did this match come from? Is this just a Wikipedia post that's just nonsense, or did they actually announce it?
That's
Oh well,
funny.
it doesn't matter. Both. It's just in the end, it's like, yeah, I'm excited for Revolution next week. Next week is going to be an absolute banger of a weekend. From
Absolutely.
from celebrating Logan's birthday to Revolution,
Oh, you've got a lot on your plate that weekend.
and it's going to be one hell of a good time because family time and wrestling nonsense. Oh, it's an absolute win for me.
And you know what? We're not even done yet because we do also have one other debut on WWE TV. We got The Inspiration finally officially having their first match on AEW. Hooray! And they get beaten down by the Brawling Birds. Okay? I gotta
I don't hate
your
it.
thoughts.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate it. I th- I just think because it was the inspiration being caught off guard of what the AEW roster is all about. I look at this as more as I don't see them just becoming the jobber team, which again, I don't think this hurts them. I actually think this will make them actually want to toughen up more.
I
I
hope
actually think this
you're
is
I
like,
honestly feel the same. Yes. I got no problem with this. Like, yeah, that was my first thing where I just like, okay, they come in, they're strutting all pretty or whatever, and then like, no, we're here to fight. If you're gonna be in here in AEW, you're gonna learn to fight like the rest of us, or you're gonna get trounced by women like us. So come at me, bro.
I mean, hey, uh, the Brawling Birds, right?
Brawling Birds, yes.
Okay,
Again,
good.
they're British, so it's like, oh yeah,
Oh, I know that. Okay, I understand
the
why. But yeah,
British
they're going for
slang.
they're going for the women's tag titles. Of course, they're going to be put the look strong, and it's going to be a guarantee that the Inspiration are going to win those women's tag team championships. So that's how confident I am that I don't think this is going to hurt them. They're not just going to be booked as jobbers or anything. This is going to be their build to those tag titles.
Would you say that would you say you'd predict that they would win the AEW women's tag titles by the end of the year?
You know what? We'll save this for this show. I think they will.
Okay.
I
Okay.
agree. I agree.
I am not totally convinced. I wouldn't hate it if it did happen, but I think it's a bit of a 50-50 shot, frankly.
If AEW has an Australia show, they're gonna do it.
That is a good point. That is a good point. They gotta have something for that audience. It seems like that audience in
And
particular is well taken care of.
that's the thing that most of the people of the internet wrestling community won't admit that they're on like AEW is on fire. They are capable of doing this. I actually think they're on just as on fire. I think both products are hot right now. Like we're seeing really the faults of WWE side a lot more because I guess it's more of a backstage thing than a creative aspect. Whereas AEW's strategy, I think, is actually brilliant with how they present the product from the small halls for your dynamites and collision and having the pay-per-views be in the more like arenas and having their bigger shows in the stadiums at Wembley. I think that's just brilliant aspects of presenting your product to where you're having these small bingo halls because the crowd is much more involved and they are acting like if it is they're already in the arenas. So yeah, I think I am just greatly happy right now when it comes to being a wrestling fan from both sides of it. Are they both perfect? Absolutely not. I'm just happy that I can find the things that I am enjoying and seeing where they're going to go. I'm looking forward to what Gunther's WrestleMania match is going to be.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one too. My biggest wish for this year is that AEW or somebody comes back to Prudential Center and has some big show there, because that's sort of become, as far as we're concerned, in my mind anyway, this is like my hometown arena. And
I'm okay with it being a dynamite and a collision.
that again, I know we've done that before, but honestly, I personally had such a blast at Full Gear. I hope they do it for a third straight year. That was so much
Oh, that would
fun.
be. You mean full gear or just a pay-per-view at Prudential?
Any pay-per-view will do, but my gut is saying that I hope they come back for a third straight year at Prudential for Full Gear. That would be fantastic.
Has it been two? Was it 2 years in a row? Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't
it
know.
has been 2 years in a row.
I guess I
Like,
just didn't pay that much. They pay attention to that aspect. But oh, that would be fun. Just having full gear be the Prudential show. That would be fun.
hey, it's not unheard of. They've done it with other regional shows before. So, like I said, they know how to take care of their respective audiences and around the world, not just domestically. So I'm like, I can see them doing it. And let's be real. If an on sale date goes for Full Gear at Prudential Center, we're all gonna get tickets. No question.
No question. So does this change does Adam Page losing the trios title change your aspect of the story? You don't have to say prediction wise, just say, does it change where you're going with your predictions for next week? As kind of a preview for next week.
I'm going to say in a single word, no. It does not change a damn thing for me. That's all I'll
Nay.
leave it at for now.
I say nay.
Okay. All right.
What about you? You posed the question. You answer. You got it. You got to answer your own question.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm where I am. It's just as long as you're keeping the momentum going. Yeah, I'm more excited from what both are doing. So yeah, I'm. I'll say yay.
Wonderful. But now, if we're talking about momentum here, before we get going for the night, if we're gonna be talking about momentum, we gotta get real about the real shows that we're gonna be watching this weekend. The real shows that absolutely cannot be missed by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably illegal in 37 countries to miss these shows. We are naturally talking about the very best in Saturday night professional wrestling. We are talking about a little segment we like to call Saturday Night Slam Masters because I am your Saturday night WWF World Wildlife Fund Velocity World Champion TM. And Pete over there is your AEW Collision World Champion. And we're going to
Collision
be,
Corner.
and for your Collision Corner, call it whatever you like. No matter what you call it, we're going to be giving you a sneak preview of what you can see at these amazing, amazing wrestling shows that
Where
you
are your
cannot see
titles?
anywhere else. It is in storage. I need to dig it up. I forgot to break it out. But you know what? That's the kind of chaos and unpredictability that you can expect on every episode of World Wildlife Fund, Colli- not Collision, PM. I
Hurry
think
off to the good start. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, just remember when we do this, it is me and Jeff basically giving you three matches. However, we have to keep it grounded. We could be silly, but you actually have to have wrestlers. I know in the past we've been a little bit silly, but we're gonna rein it in by doing some wrestlers. So you know what? I went first last week, but I'll go first again this week. How about that, Jeff? I'll give you a little bit more time because we are Collision Corner and we don't fear anybody because we are the
Wear
best
both your
show.
belts. Wear both your belts.
Double
Break
belted.
double belted. Collision champion and Scholars champion. Flourish
My
in those gold, sir. Flourish in it. Bathe in it.
bathing all the golds. But you know what? You're going to be bathing in some great fucking matches. And we're going to start off with one that you can't wait to watch. Of course, I'm talking about irrelevancy. In the match of who are these guys again? You have the masterpiece, Chris Masters, versus the reflection of perfection, Mark Jindrak. Who do you remember more? Now, I know you're excited. I know you're ready. And of course, we wouldn't have a collision corner without him returning. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, you've been asking for it. Kevin Nash makes his in ring return to face off against the man that's been talking hella shit for a hella long. To Kevin Nash, of course, I am talking none other than ECW's original Bam Bam Bigelow. That's right. Kevin Nash and Bam Bam Bigelow finally get to square up. You're only going to see it here because you can't see it anywhere else. And for our main event, I know you've been asking for it. A Collision Corner, can you please give us what we want? And we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you hard in this I Quit match. And of course, in this I Quit match, you're going to have the greatest quitters of all WWE. I'm talking about Dashing Cody Rhodes versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And the ultimate I Quit match. Who's going to quit first? You can see all this on Collision Corner. So, what do you have over there, Wildlife Federation?
Oh, I will tell you what we've got over here, sir. Because here at the World Wildlife Fund Saturday Night Velocity TM, I got it right finally. Hooray for me. We think outside the box. Yes, we like to have a good time. But ultimately, sometimes we got to bring you the very best in professional wrestling. And we're going to be bringing this to you in a totally serious submission match to kick off our amazing evening. The up and coming Darius Carter, the ultra serious legend of indie wrestling who enchants and captures imaginations all around the world, is going to be in a totally serious submission match with the legend himself, Dude Love. That's right, kids. We are going to be having a submission match. First time ever in the world for both men. It's going to be something to remember. It will go down in the history books forever, guaranteed. But we're not stopping there. Because as much as we like to keep things serious and traditional in the world of professional wrestling, sometimes we got to get a little bit bloody. We got to get crazy. We need an exploding barbed wire match. Yes, friends, but I'm sure you're asking yourself, okay, who is going to be in this match? Well, it's a battle of the misses. We've got Miss Elizabeth going one on one with Miss Congeniality from ECW. That's right. I did not stutter. First time ever you're going to see an exploding barbed wire match between these two ladies. Only one will walk out alive. I don't know what that means. There's only one way to find out. But in our main event, it will be putting all of these things to shame. We're going to be having two Lucha Libre legends. My man Penta going all one on one with Villano 5. And of course, you're wondering, wait a minute, what do these two men have in common? That's right, they both have numbers in their name. They're all about numbers, and they're all about, especially Penta, because we're talking about shapes. And when you think of numbers and you think of shapes, there's only one place your mind turns to. That's right, we're going to be facing both men, featuring both men in the first time ever Sesame Street fight. That's right. First time ever in the world. It will bring the house down and it will be a spectacle unlike anything else in the world because that's the kind of entertainment you can get on Saturday night. World Wildlife Fund, Velocity, TM. Uh, yeah, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we give Scholar Tarek a couple of seconds to think about what he has to do, of course, you can leave a comment and let us know who won this week between me and Jeff. Of course, we do this every week to have a little light and have a little fun. So if you like it, please like and subscribe. Scholar Tarek, your facial expressions, though, throughout all of that was just a joy to see. So I turn the mic to you. Who won your Saturday Night Slam Masters?
I will say, I I will DVR both shows. It just brings the question on which one would I actually put on to watch first? Because those are fun cards. Those were fun cards. Let's see. Pete, which was the main event of yours
The
again?
I Quit, the Dashing Cody Rhodes versus Stone Cold.
Funny
I
enough,
was
I'm thinking like I probably would have had Stardust because that was his breaking point to actually leaving.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
But that is a good one. Hmm.
Don't forget that Bam Bam Bigelow.
And Bam Bigelow, Kevin Nash. Yeah.
But don't forget the Sesame Street fight.
That was a good. That was good. I'll give you that. I'll
Now,
give you that.
honestly, I think I will see the Sesame Street fight first. I'll be my
Yeah, damn
inner
right you do.
child. I'll do my inner child. I want to see someone pick up that trash can. You see Oscar, the crowd's going, "What the hell is going on?" And bam, like I'm picturing, like when you explain, I'm picturing the stage is just Sesame Street, and then the walk ramp to the ring.
Can Elmo be on commentary?
Oh, imagine. No, it's Bert and Ernie on
Turner.
commentary. Oh man.
Uh,
The
see,
Spanish announce table is the Muppets. The two old guys from the Muppets.
Oh God. That's funny.
see,
But yeah,
some appeal just write themselves.
it's like, oh, going back to my childhood, even though I didn't watch it as much as I actually thought I did. Yeah, I'll go with Velocity on this one. I'm not gonna give the full name because God damn it, I'll mess it up.
No, no
Nobody
one ever
messes it
does.
up.
Nobody ever does
No,
that. No, sir. No, sir.
I'm not breaking that record.
But all that nutty fun aside, because we know
Awkward
you know we
silent
like to
moment.
have, you know we always like to have fun here. Now is the time of our show where we turn it over to you, our fellow fans. What were your takeaways from the Elimination Chamber? What's your hype level for WrestleMania this year? What's AEW got cooking that you like? And most of all, what do you think of Danhausen? How successful and rich and powerful and cool will he be? No matter what you think, let us know all across the internet, and even to join in the conversation yourself on our Twitter, and other social media accounts. And for all of those relevant social media links and much, much more, just check us out at our link tree. That's linktree/Scholars of Wrestling, and you can find it in the description box below for your chance to join the conversation and let us know what you think. Well, like we were talking about earlier, we already have our schedule locked in. We are going to be locked and loaded for uh AEW Revolution. We're getting ready for. We're already there, and you know we're going to be there to bring it all to you, predict it all, because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're
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 welcome.
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 See you all,
What
and really,
what are the chances
yes,
of you wearing the Danhausen makeup for the show?
minimal.
Oh,
Very, very minimal.
We're gonna start a
we'll
GoFundMe and
see
put it
about that.
on.
We'll see about that.
I'm sure we will.